If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Cashing Out on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
All right, let's have some fun. It's time. Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo, taking you through your Monday night. For our folks, our friends on the East Coast, we're going to take you all the way through into your Tuesday morning. We've got some live action in Major League Baseball to get to. We've got conference finals to continue previewing. Western Conference Finals Game 1, less than 24 hours away. Minnesota, OKC. I can't wait. How about our incredible guests that we've got lined up for you tonight? Our friend, DraftKings Sportsbook content creator Tanner Kern is going to join the show. Michaela Bennett from Underdog Fantasy, Hour 2. She just went 4-1 with her MLB picks on last Thursday's episode of Cashing Out. Quick turnaround because we like winners on this program. So we've got Michaela joining us, and then VSiN's own resident college hoops MLB expert, Greg Peterson, going to join the show in Hour 3. I'm excited for our terrific guest lineup here in this one. How about some of the terrific live action that we've got going on right now? The Philadelphia Phillies run line against the Colorado Rockies was -2.5 runs if you wanted to get as close to your standard laying 10 cents vig, even juice as possible. You had to lay 2.5 runs for Philadelphia at Coors Field. You probably thought you were dead. The Rockies led this one early. They led it 2-0. Then they led it 3-1 going into the 7th, 3-2 going into the 8th. Well, Philadelphia, like so many other teams have done this year, just put up a 4 spot against the Colorado Rockies bullpen. So it is 6-3 Philly. If you laid the 2.5 runs, you are live. It is far from over, but you are live here as the Phillies are still batting top of the 8th at Coors Field with a man on. Nope, inning just ended. Headed to the bottom of the 8th. 6-3 Phillies lead. Your -2.5 run line bet, if you took it, is still alive. Phillies -2.5 now. Wow, -250. Colorado +2.5. You can get +$1.80 if you think the Rockies in their last 6 outs have one cross home plate. If you took a first 5 under in the Bay Area, San Francisco, Kansas City, couple of lefties on the bump, congratulations. You cashed that ticket out with ease. Kansas City, San Francisco, nothing with 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Robbie Ray has been great for the Giants. 5 2/3 innings of work, 5 hits, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Chris Bubich for the Kansas City Royals, well, great would be an understatement. We'll just say 5 innings of scoreless ball for Chris Bubich. We'll leave it at scoreless. We won't elaborate as he's through 5 strong, 66 pitches. Do with that information what you will, our superstitious crowd out there. 66 pitches, 5 innings for Chris Bubich as we've got a shutout. He does have 2 walks. If those of you haven't been following the game, I will let you know he does have 2 walks through 5 scoreless on 66 pitches. Speaking of a team that's been held scoreless thus far, the LA Dodgers are absolutely getting beaten with a stick by the Arizona Diamondbacks. You know, I mean, there were 3 different ways I looked at betting this game yesterday because we hit our first best bet, Cincinnati money line, some late offense for the Reds, 7-1. They beat Pittsburgh. And our other best bet is in this Arizona-LA game. And I was looking at 3 potential ways to play this game. First was Arizona money line. Nice plus money price, plus $1.25, plus $1.30. Bullpen game for the Dodgers. Brandon Pfaadt who just threw 6 1/3 scoreless against LA 2 starts ago on the bump. So I was looking at Arizona money line, then figured, all right, well, it's a bullpen game for the Dodgers. Arizona has the big starting pitching advantage. Maybe we shorten the handicap and maybe we go D-backs first 5 on the money line. Not as good a price. And I was probably going to go that way, but it was plus 105. I didn't love the price there. So we settled on Brandon Pfaadt over 15.5 outs at minus 105. And we deserve an award on cashing out for the amount of CLV, whether the bet hits or not. And I mean, he's threw 2 1/3 on 29 pitches. Dodgers haven't scored yet, but obviously this Dodgers lineup, they can erupt at any moment. So I'm not going to say because he's looked superb for 2 1/3 innings of work, I'm not going to, count our money there yet. But what I will say regarding Brandon Pfaadt is that he just continues to look superb. And we deserve an award for CLV, if nothing else, because we got this. I actually was able to get it at ProfitX even money. DraftKings, if you went the traditional sportsbook route, minus 105 was the best price early on last night during cashing out. I got it at even money. And this morning, when we woke up, it was in some shops minus 175. Caesars had it minus $1.75. DraftKings had it minus 150. In fact, I opened up ProfitX to see to see what the price was looking like there here in California. And they had over 16.5 outs. They had moved an out, let alone the, 50 to 75 cents it had moved at some of the major books. So we nailed it with the CLV on Brandon Pfaadt. Now let's see if we can actually hit the bet. Bottom of the 3rd inning, he just recorded what looks to be the second out. Got a lazy pop-up from Tommy Edman, Ketel Marte into shallow right field. We're at 2 2/3. We've got 8 of the 16 ounce we need. Call Bon Jovi, we're halfway there. Angels, A's, only game we haven't gotten to. The LA Angels on an absolute heater. How about it? They come up to Los Angeles because, let's face it, if you're familiar with the geography of Southern California, you know the LA Angels are actually nowhere near LA. They come up to LA, sweep the Dodgers in the Freeway Series. Now they continue up the turnpike up to Sacramento, and they're up 4-2. Jose Soriano dealing bottom of the 3rd. Brent Rooker up with first and second, 1 out. Rooker, one of the best bats in that A's lineup, certainly the most powerful. He could give the Sacktown A's the lead with 1 swing here. So we'll keep an eye on the Athletics. That game's got over written all over it between the Angels and the A's. JT Ginn on the bump for the A's. 3 innings, 4 earned, 5 strikeouts. So might be looking at an over on his K prop there as he's at 68 pitches. I'd imagine he goes out for the 4th. How about Taylor Ward? I mean, this guy is hot as hell. He's hitting sub 200 on the year, but he just hit his 13th home run. He's got 7 home runs in his last 13 games. The average actually with that home run is up to 200 flat. I mean, dreadful start to the season for this guy who's been an all-star, who's, carried a average well north of 300 into the Midsummer Classic before. But Taylor Ward has had a dreadful season. Last 2 weeks, all of a sudden, he's hitting breaking balls out of the park left and right. His home run prop, if you've been going that direction, 7 home runs in the last 13 games. He has been absolutely on fire. Bubich still dealing for the Royals, gets a grounder back to him, fires to first. 5 2/3. Really strong outing for Chris Bubich. We'll keep an eye on it for you. Meanwhile, the Colorado Rockies are about to go down in the 8th. Carlos Hernandez out there for the Phillies in relief. 6-3. Phillies still leading it. So let's look at some live odds. Kansas City, San Francisco. Wild the way that Bubich is dealing. The Royals still underdogs on the live market. Plus 105 money line. San Fran is minus $1.35. Interesting. On DraftKings, the Giants are favorites in that game. Yet, if you look at the run line, it's got KC minus 1.5, San Fran plus 1.5, and that just flipped. Interesting. Let's see what happens here with Bubich's delivery. 0-2 count. And we await as he's through 5 2/3. Nothing but 2 walks out there for the Giants. Carlos Hernandez gets out of the 8th. We head to the 9th at Coors Field. And the Phillies run line has actually moved to -3.5. Plus $1.80, because they'd have to score another run at least and hold the Rockies scoreless. And, oh, man, did that do it? The Giants got a hit. Was that... Oh, no! E4. All right, what do we got here? Second baseman. Oh, yeah, no, he just ate it. What was that? Massey totally ate it. That was a routine grounder, especially with Wilmer Flores not having any semblance of what we classify as wheels. That would have been a routine ground ball, 4-3, 6th inning over. Instead, Bubic has walked 2 and now an error, the only 3 base runners of the night for San Francisco thus far. Folks, Edge Boost is the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring that all gambling transactions get approved. This means no usage fees. It means no minimums. It means you can earn cashback rewards plus get 100% approval for all betting deposits. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today. edgeboost.bet. Use the promo code, my favorite word, your favorite word, cash. Deposit $25. Edge Boost will match the deposit. That's edgeboost.bet. Looks like the Dodgers going back to the bullpen here. They're going to be on 3 pitchers in 4 innings. Not exactly how they drew up a bullpen game, but with Arizona leading 7-0, the Dodgers have been in disarray on the verge of potentially, what would this be, a 4th straight loss for LA. The A's have them loaded. Rooker walked. Shea Langoliers, the catcher, is up, bottom of the 3rd, working a 1-2 count. The A's plus $1.30 home dogs here as Langoliers strikes out. So now they're loaded with 2 outs. The 6-hitter will be stepping in for the A's down 4-2 in Sacramento. There's going to be a lot of scoring in this one. We're not even a third of the way through. Bubic gets a strikeout. He's through 6. He's on fire. The Giants only 3 base runners, 2 walks, and an error. We'll keep you updated on Bubic, the Royals, and the rest of Major League Baseball. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Kyle Schwarber just hit the 300th. Just launched the 300th home run of his career. 466 feet, a bomb off the upper deck facing in right field. Phillies 7, Rockies 3. Phillies with a guy on first as well this inning. We spoke about it going into the 9th that the Phillies run line was up to -3.5 at plus $1.80. Well, they are up 4. Obviously, Colorado still has to bat in the bottom half. But the Phils are up 4. They have erased a 3-1 deficit. I mean, the way that these Colorado Rockies hit, I think we can say whether they cover the 3.5 is up for debate. The Phils are undoubtedly going to win this game. So Philadelphia now -4.5 on the run line, plus $1.25 as they've got a man on second and 1 out. The Royals get a leadoff hit, 6th hit off Robbie Ray, who is not allowed to run, to start the 7th inning in a 0-0 game. KC now the favorite, -125. Giants -$1.05. Arizona threatening again off this Dodgers bullpen game. Eugenio Suarez, Gino, up with his .219 average and his 14 home runs here on May the 19th. Very, very Suarez-like stat line right there. As Arizona leads at 7-0, Suarez looking to, at least with a fly ball or a base knock, make it 8-0 D-backs. Angels Up top of the fourth, they're minus 215 on the money line. The A's plus $1.65, trailing by 2 at home. How about Arizona? The run line in this one is minus 6.5. I mean, are the books starting to give up on the Dodgers? I feel like a few days ago, if the Dodgers were down 7, the run line would be something like 5.5. Currently 6.5. Arizona minus 2,500 on the money line. LA 11-1 to pull off this comeback. Remember, these teams got together just 2 weekends ago, just 8, 9, 10 days ago, and they had a Friday night slugfest. We gave out the Dodgers in that one, and we hit it, but that was one of the crazier games you've ever seen. Dodgers went up 8-3 after, I believe, falling behind 3-1. They went up 8-3 because I live bet them when they were down 3-1. I got them at 2-1 and went up 8-3. Coughed it up. Next thing you know, blink of an eye, the Dodgers were down 11-8 and ended up, I believe, putting up a 6th spot in the 9th to win it 14-11. Who else? Shohei Ohtani went deep as part of that comeback win for the Dodgers. So, I mean, we've seen big leads. What was that, a 5-run lead, 8-3? The Dodgers led that one before Arizona scored 8 unanswered. We've seen big leads crumble already this season between these two teams when they square off. This is going to be, I predicted earlier in the year that these would be the top 2 teams in the National League West, as Josh Naylor hits one on the nose, but right at the shortstop, shifted towards the middle, and Arizona will end the inning. Brandon Pfaadt headed back out there, bottom of the 4th. He's thrown 3 scoreless. We need 5 1/3 to cash out our Brandon Pfaadt over 15.5 outs play. How about the Phillies? I mean, my goodness, another home run, a 2-out shot by Sosa, Edmund Sosa, top of the 9th, 9-3 Philadelphia. They were down 3-1 a minute ago. Going into the 7th inning, they were down 3-1, 1 in the 7th, 4 in the 8th, and then 3 more here in the 9th. And the Phillies have all of a sudden scored 7 runs in the last 3 innings, and they lead it 9-3 over Colorado, covering the run line in every which direction. I mean, this Rockies team is just an embarrassment. They should be forced to sell by Major League Baseball. This is actually a disastrous organization. You're in a great city. You're in a great market. You have a tremendous, terrific fan base. And you refuse, not that you can't, you refuse to put a winning product on the field. I've got a lot to say about this Colorado Rockies team, and we'll continue as the show progresses. But this team is just disgraceful and an embarrassment to baseball. If you were to tell me right now that Major League Baseball, Rob Manfred and company, were to intervene and make 2 franchises in 2 terrific sports cities sell, I would say Colorado, Pittsburgh. I agree with Manfred 1,000%. I mean, it might be time for intervention. This is absurd. Like, we've talked about Tampa Bay and the need for relocation, and that's a no-brainer, right? We all know a city like Montreal would love to have baseball back. A city like Nashville, a city like Charlotte, would certainly show up better than Tampa Bay and St. Pete do. But the Rockies, it's not a matter of relocation or being in the wrong market. They are in an incredible market. And yeah, special thanks to our producer, Jared Moore, for texting me to remind me of the way I just misspoke and said Charlotte. Appreciate that, Jared. The Colorado Rockies are in a tremendous market, but their ownership just refuses to invest. They gave out that massive deal to Chris Bryant, took a chance there, and it didn't work out. And ever since that didn't work out, it's like they've given up on big contracts. It's embarrassing. It's insulting to their fan base. I mean, the Colorado Rockies are going to put up a worse record than last year's Chicago White Sox. And there is no reason at all that should be the case. Pittsburgh Pirates, by the way, same deal. I mean, they're winning, they're on pace to lose over 100 games. I thought this would be a frisky 500 team coming into the year. And it is really just an embarrassment, right? I mean, we look at the Rockies every night. from a gambling wagering perspective. And it's like, how can we fade these guys? And the books are making it damn hard. You got to look at props, right? Because the books are making it really hard. Run lines of 2.5, 3.5. And I mean, sometimes like tonight, if you took Philly run line, let's call it what it is, maybe you get a little lucky because they were down 3-1 going into the 7th. But, it is tough to fade this team the way that we all want to. I mean, what was Christopher Sanchez's K prop? 5.5, 6.5. He finished with 7. So Sanchez gets there, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, went over on his earned run prop. I think it was 1.5, the earned run prop for Sanchez. Allowed 3. I mean, he got touched up, gave up that homer to Ezekiel Tovar in the first inning. He did get there on the strikeouts, though. But, yeah, you really have to get creative with different ways to fade the Colorado Rockies. How about a Mookie Betts blast? Bott comes out for the 4th, gets Ohtani, 10 up, 10 down. He was perfect through 3 1/3. And Mookie takes him deep to the bullpen in left field. Dodgers on the board, 401 feet off the bat of Mookie Betts. 7-1, Arizona leads it there. If you had bets to go deep, you cash that ticket out. So Fott through 3 1/3. We've got 10 outs. We need 6 more outs from Brandon Fott. Hey, folks, the NBA playoffs are heating up, and our partner, ProfitX, is offering the best odds all postseason long. ProfitX is a peer-to-peer sports exchange available in over 40 states. You'll be able to make your picks against other groups of fans rather than the books. And exchanges guarantee you the best odds on average by 10 to 20%. Plus, you can even request your own odds. I can't stress this enough. This is what I did. Last night, Fott was minus 105. I requested even money. It got matched almost instantly. Reds were minus 130. I requested minus 120. It got matched almost instantly. It's the best feature that they offer. So download ProfitX today. Use our code VSIN, VSIN, and you can earn up to $200 in profit cash over your first month. LA trying again. Nope. Deep fly ball to the warning track. That'll get caught by Gurriel off the bat of Freddie Freeman. So the D-backs still leading at 7-1. Looks like Robbie Ray's night is finished. 7 scoreless for the Giants lefty. And getting out-dueled ever so slightly by Chris Bubich, who is through 6 1/3. Again, the only base runners he's allowed, 2 walks and an error. Philly's looking to close things out. They've got a lefty in there. I don't recognize who it is. It's not Strom, and we all know it is not Alvarado. It is not Alvarado, the Phillies' left-handed closer, who has been suspended 80 games, also going to miss the postseason for PEDs. That suspension coming early on Sunday. So Philly's already suspect shaky bullpen just got even shakier. Folks, up next, we're going to start looking ahead to the Tuesday MLB slate. We'll keep sweating out this Brandon Fott outs recorded over, but I can't wait. Our friend Tanner Kern, content creator over at DraftKings Sportsbook, is going to join the show. We'll look ahead to Tuesday's locked and loaded MLB slate. We've got, 15 and a half games Tuesday, as the Twins and Guardians will resume their suspended game from Monday. Plus, we will dive in. It's time to preview some conference finals action. It's Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo. Don't go anywhere. You're locked into VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Welcome back to Cashing Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with myself, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through the late hours of your Monday night, right on in to your Tuesday morning for our friends on the East Coast. And let's welcome in one of our friends over on the East Coast. It's time to hit the progressive guest line. Welcome in our friend, content creator over at DraftKings Sportsbook, Tanner Kern, into the program. Tanner, how are you, my friend? How was your weekend? What kind of action did you have? Had a lot of Game 7s, great golf, the Preakness. What were some of your betting highlights from the weekend before we dive into the Tuesday slate, my man?
Well, I don't want to lament on the Celtics, but I got to watch the Celtics lose a game 6. So congrats to your Knicks. I got to watch all the antics that happened outside of Madison Square Garden. That was pretty fun as well. Had some baseball bets this weekend, but pretty sad just over the Boston Celtics and my Red Sox finding a way to lose in every way possible over the weekend. So, hopefully we get a little better this week.
Yeah, although your Red Sox took it to my Mets on Monday, so you got back in the win column there. I mean, it would have been nice if, we were both rooting for the Red Sox against the Braves. Would have been nice for both of us if they won more of those games, and then maybe not so much in my case when my Mets came to town. But my Mets on a little bit of a cooler. We'll see if maybe you're looking to fade them on Tuesday as Walker Buehler comes back. But let's work our way around the diamond. How about St. Louis? They cooled off this hot Detroit team in a big way. 11-4, Sonny Gray shoved 10 strikeouts in the series opener. How do you think the Tigers respond on Tuesday?
I think they're going to respond with a vengeance here. I'm going to go Tigers on the run line. Again, prime run line spot here. Team on the road with the superior pitcher and the superior offense. Did not look that way tonight, but when Tarek Skubal takes the mound for Detroit, they have a different edge to them. 4-2 on the season, ERA right around 2.6, and then a .93 whip. There just aren't many weaknesses for Skubal, and I think he's going to have a really good outing against St. Louis. Allowed just 44 hits in 54 innings with 71 strikeouts. He gives up one walk and less than one home run per 9 innings as well. So that takes an element away from the Cardinals offense. For St. Louis, Eric Fetty is going to pitch. Season, he is 2-2 with a 4.76 ERA and a 2.7 opponent batting average on or at home this season. On the road, he has a 170, so he's really struggled at Busch Stadium as well. Another reason to lean towards the Tigers on the run line here. St. Louis has been good at home, and we saw that tonight, but Detroit's really handled business all season. They've been very good at bouncing back after losses as well. And then when it comes to the bullpen, they have the fourth best bullpen ERA in Major League Baseball. So I do think between Skubal and the bullpen and just enough from the offense against Eric Fetty, I do think they have a great chance to cover on the run line here.
Yeah, man, I truthfully think this is a great bounce back spot. And the run line for me is in play. I'm probably going to wait as we get a little closer to game time, see what kind of props open up in the market for Skubal. We've been hitting his K prop lately, going over 7.5 with ease he's been doing. But I absolutely think whether it's the run line, whether it's the prop market, the Detroit Tigers are a great spot, a great team to play on Tuesday. How about the Dodgers? I mean, this has been just an ugly stretch for the Dodgers ever since the Angels came to town for the Freeway Series. What are you looking at Tuesday, potentially a bounce back spot for them against Arizona?
I'm taking another run line here. Dodgers on the run line. I know they're at home, and I really don't like taking run lines when a team's at home. But when you look at Yoshinobu Yamamoto on the mound for the Los Angeles Dodgers, I mean, he's an ace and he's meant to shove. And I think we're going to see that here on Tuesday. He's 5-3 on the season with a 2.12 ERA and a .98 whip. Walks have been the issue at times for him, but if he commands the zone, he is as close to unhittable as you are going to get. He's thrown 51 innings and allowed just 34 hits with 5 home runs this season. Ryan Nelson's going to be on the mound for the Arizona Diamondbacks. ERA north of 5 here. He has walked 10 batters in 26.1 innings so far this season. Dodgers have scored nearly 30 more runs in Arizona, and they have the potential to put up a lot of crooked numbers here against Nelson. So I think with Yamamoto on the mound, it gives Los Angeles a great chance to limit Arizona's scoring and then rack up runs of their own to cover this number, even if they don't get their at-bats in the bottom of the 9th inning.
Yeah, took the run line with him last time out at home against the A's. It was dicey early, but they won the game 9-3. Look, Yamamoto's a guy I've got on Cy Young watch. Skeens, obviously, Wheeler and Yamamoto, to me, are right now in their own tier in the Cy Young market. And current D-backs hitters just 9 for 44 against him in their careers. Tanner, pitchers duel in San Francisco Monday. Bubich, Ray each go 7 scoreless. Are you thinking things might look a little different Tuesday? What do you like, Royals Giants?
I am going to play the over of 8 runs here, and the reason is Michael Lorenzen really struggled on the road. He has a .95 ERA at home with a 188 opponent batting average, but when he is the visitor, 1-4 with a 5.35 ERA and a 276 opponent batting average. If you do not like the full over of 8 runs, I would look to the Giants team total because I do think they're going to have a lot of success here off Lorenzen. And Hayden Birdsong, I like what he's been able to do. He should allow some runs in the spot. Only he's going to go about 3 innings, and then it's going to go to a really good Giants bullpen here. But 2.31 ERA for him. There is some issues, though. 1.29 whip, 10 walks, and 23.1 innings. So I think the Royals could sneak some runs off him early as well in this game. So when you look at the Giants and the Royals, they're both top 10 in bullpen ERA, which is a concern. But if the Giants have the offensive showing that I think they're capable of against Lorenzen, they are 8th in runs scored. So this one comes down, can the San Francisco Giants put up runs early in this game? If they do, I think they have a great chance to get it over the total. If they don't, it's going to be very tough with the bullpens in this game, but I just don't trust Lorenzen pitching on the road here.
Yeah, and look, I mean, Bubich has been ridiculously sensational this season. San Francisco, like you pointed out, their offense at home for the most part has been great. They just ran into a guy who's having quietly maybe the most underrated campaign from a pitcher thus far. Tanner, let's take it from the diamond to the NBA playoffs. Conference finals action Tuesday, OKC, Minnesota. What's the play game one?
I like the Timberwolves plus 7.5 here against the Thunder. When you look at this game, it's going to show us what the difference between rest and rust is. Oklahoma City was taken to the brink of elimination by Denver. Now, there were times where this series looked like it was going to go in favor of the Nuggets, and other times when the Thunder played up to their capability, it was clear they were the better team. But I believe Denver had a really good chance in that series down the stretch. They just didn't show up in Game 7. So looking at that one, it gives me a little confidence heading into Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals that the Minnesota Timberwolves can hang around. They're coming off an easy series against the Warriors with extended rest. And at this point in the playoffs, I'm going to bank on rest meaning more than coming out with that momentum that the Thunder should have in this game. 2 players to really watch for, one on each side. Jalen Williams is coming off an unbelievable game for the Thunder, scored 24 points on 58% from the field. He will be key in this series. And you look at what he did against Denver. If he played a little better at times, that series probably doesn't go 7 games. So I think he's a really big X factor in this one. On the flip side, you got Minnesota, very extremely physical team. Anthony Edwards gets the attention, but this series I think is going to come down to Julius Randle setting the tone between him and Gobert in the paint, and Minnesota's just effort all the way across the board. I do think it's going to take the Thunder a little time to adjust here. So I don't expect Jalen Williams to be as good as he was in Game 7 of the Denver series. And I expect a really strong effort from Minnesota. That's what they've shown throughout this entire postseason. These two teams have played really close games so far this season. Minnesota was 3-1 when it came to covering 7.5. They pulled off 2 outright wins against OKC. So I think 7.5 is a little too much for a team that is rested coming into the spot. If they don't bring that physicality, which we've seen at times in the playoffs for teams coming off rest, it could be an issue. But I will gladly take 7.5 with a guy like Anthony Edwards, knowing how tight they played OKC during the regular season.
All right, Tanner, I've got to ask you in about 45 seconds or less. I know that the game isn't until Wednesday, but Eastern Conference Finals, who do you like in this series? Knicks minus 145 or Indiana plus $1.25?
I hate to do it to you, Joe, and I'm not trying to get revenge for my Boston Celtics here, but I think the Indiana Pacers are the play here. You look at the New York Knicks, obviously they had the super highs and they had the really low lows against the Boston Celtics. They're a great team, and they're more than just Jalen Brunson. It's a well-rounded basketball team, but you need Karl Anthony Towns to step up. I just think the Pacers are playing really good basketball. I don't think it's momentum. I think, this is a team that has the experience. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They knocked off the Knicks, obviously a beat-up Knicks last year. But I'll take the plus money. I think it's 2 evenly matched teams, and I will gladly go where the value is. And I think that's the Indiana Pacers, but wouldn't be surprised either way for who comes out on top in this series.
I will say for that reason, they are evenly matched. Indiana's deep as hell. I think it goes over 5.5 games for sure. Tanner, appreciate the time, man. As always, thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Our friend Tanner Kern. Make sure you follow him at TannerKern_ on Twitter and check out his great work over at DraftKings Sportsbook. Folks, smarter bets start right here, and they last all year long with a VSiN Pro subscription. Right now, sign up on an annual subscription. Get 14 months for just $1.99 with the promo code PRO. That's 2 extra months free for less than 50 cents a day. Become a VSiN Pro subscriber. You'll get instant access to a daily email with all of our best bets from hosts and guests, real-time betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, 24/7 video access on the VSiN Watch app, and full access to VSiN.com's analytics, trends, and expert breakdown. So don't wait. Go to VSiN.com/subscribe, use the promo code PRO, and lock in your offer right now. More Cashing Out with Joe Ceraulo on the other side.
If your job at a healthcare facility includes disinfecting against viruses, you know prevention is the best medicine. And maintaining healthy spaces starts with a healthy cleaning routine. Grainger's world-class supply chain helps ensure you have the quality products you need when you need them. From disinfectants and cleaning supplies to personal protective equipment, so you can help deliver a clean bill of health. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Out here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
Cashing Out continues with myself, Joe Ceraulo, taking you through a Monday night. What a great Monday for baseball, huh? On a day where, and I don't know if this was strategic or not. I mean, I can't imagine it was, because we could have had a Knicks Celtics Game 7, but the schedule makers, I mean, on a day where there was no NBA action, no hockey, to have 12 baseball games was nothing shy of fantastic. We'll have 11 results to speak of, because Minnesota-Cleveland started, got delayed, ultimately got suspended, with Minnesota leading 2-1 in the top of the fourth. If you're the Twins, you hate to waste a Bailey Ober start like that. He went 3, allowed 1 in the first, 3 strikeouts, 42 pitches, 35 strikes. Really economical 3 innings out of Ober. And now he's toast until his next time up. We'll get to some other early results in baseball. How about some live updates? Kansas City on the board, but the Chris Bubich no-hitter is no mas. He gave up 2 hits, worked out of second and third nicely in the bottom of the 7th. Kansas City got 2. Vinny Pasquantino got a big 2-run shot in the top of the 8th to put the Royals up 2-0, where they currently lead. San Francisco does, however, have first and second with 1 out in the bottom of the 8th. And John Schreiber coming in to pitch for the Royals after Lynch gave up 2 hits and got just 1 out. Brandon Pfaadt working on a battle with Tommy Edman, started 3-0. Pfaadt's worked it back full. Edman fouls off pitch number 6, and it's a little liner to second base. And Brandon Pfaadt, ladies and gentlemen, is through 5 innings on 75 pitches. Not quite the first 2 innings. You know, I mean, first 2 innings, he was through on like 28 pitches, was absolutely sensational, was efficient as hell. The Dodgers have worked his pitch count a bit since. Last 3 innings, he's thrown about 45 to 47 pitches, but we just need 1 more out from Brandon Pfaadt. He's at 75 pitches. If he gets 1 more out with 9-1-2 to up for the Dodgers. And by the way, 9-1-2 is no cakewalk, right? Hyun-Sung Kim leading off for the Dodgers. He's hitting .438 in 32 at-bats. He's 14 for 32. So no cakewalk here for Pfaadt, but he's got Kim, Ohtani, and Betts. If he gets 1 more out, we have a 2-0 day, and we extend this streak that we're on to an 8th-day 26-6 streak. We are currently 25-6 with the Cincinnati Reds money line hitting earlier in the day. If Brandon Pfaadt over 15.5 outs hits, we will be 26-6 in our last 8 days. That's about an 82% clip, and that's why you should be locked in, tuned in to Cashing Out every single night. Angels up 4-3. The A's have cut in a little bit to that once 4-2 lead. That one nearing pick'em territory. Angels minus $1.40. The A's plus 110 on the money line. Royals with the 2-0 lead. Wilmer Flores has worked a full count against John Schreiber. And we'll see payoff pitch here. Schreiber gets him. 2 outs. Wow. With that out of Wilmer Flores, Kansas City just moved $6. They were minus 330. Now they're minus 920 on the money line with that one out. San Francisco, I mean, hey, if you want to come back and take the Giants, they just went from like 2-1 to 5-1 on the money line. So you can get some value there on the Giants. They've got 4 outs left. A base knock here would cut it from 2-0 to 2-1 if you think San Fran might have a little life left in them. Let's talk NBA Conference Finals preview. We're going to elaborate more as the show progresses on these games. Obviously, right now we've got some live action going on I want to keep us locked into. But I think what Tanner was saying about the Indiana, New York Eastern Conference Finals, I mean, I don't look at Tanner and fault him at all or say he's a sour Celtics fan one bit for taking Indiana in that series. That series is going to be an absolute dogfight. And look, I'm not laying 45 cents on the Knicks in that series to win it. Minus 145. I mean, I think that your better investments here are some exactas, right? Like if you like the Knicks to win the series, why wouldn't you take them to either go win it in 7 at 4-1? If you put a half unit on it, it pays out what a normal standard 2-1 bet would play, and then go Knicks in 6 at 6-1. And if you put a half unit on that, it pays out as if it was a normal, 3-1 play. Like, why wouldn't you do that instead of taking the Knicks on a series minus 145? Because I got news for you. I love the Knicks. I believe in the New York Knicks as San Francisco. Are they going to tie this? That one was down the line. Nope. Second and third, a double from Jun-Hoo Lee. And see, if you had Giants money line at 5-1, all of a sudden a single here, they have second and third, Lee can run. A single here with 2 outs would put them up 3-2. So I did not understand that $6 line movement on Kansas City after the Wilmer Flores strikeout. Lee right here has the Giants 180 feet away from going up 3-2 with just one single in the bottom of the 8th, and the cleanup hitter Matt Chapman is up. That price seemed way off. In fact, and I've got to, we'll bring it back to the Knicks here, but I've got to look at how the lines move. Yep, Kansas City is back down to minus 250. They were minus $9 after the Wilmer strikeout. Now minus 250, Giants plus $1.85. You could have just had the Giants at 5-1. And if you took that, put yourself in a position, even here with Kansas City laying 250, to hedge and guarantee yourself a profit. I mean, that was just, I thought, suspicious line movement for one strikeout of Wilmer Flores, and Lee makes him pay. So back to my New York Knicks. I can't justify laying 45 cents on that series. I think it's better off to risk a little less, go half unit, Knicks in 7, half unit, Knicks in 6. Because if they win, I mean, the series is going 6 or 7, right? I also, you could go over 5.5 games on the series. You're laying 70 cents. I think it is a fairly safe bet. I just don't want to lay 70 cents on it. Now, what's safer about that and why you're late, because in my exactas, my half unit exactas, the Knicks would have to win the series, right? Pacers win the series, you put a half unit on each, boom, you lose a unit. So the Knicks would have to win for my suggestion, my recommendation to pay off. But minus 170. Somehow Indiana turns around, third series in a row. They win it in 5. First off, I'd be damned. I'd be shocked. But if they do, then you're down nearly 2 units to win 1. It's just, I can't lay $1.70 on the over 5.5 as much as I believe in it. But I also do believe the Knicks are going to win the series. I don't want to lay nearly $0.50 on it, but I believe the Knicks are. So I like those exacta situations a lot better. Knicks in 7, Knicks in 6. Could the Knicks go to Indiana game 6 and potentially do this? I hope. I certainly wouldn't want to face the Pacers in a game 7. I'll be completely frank and honest about that. I would not want to face Indiana with their depth and their fresher legs. And look, the Knicks could go out there and they could feed off the energy from the crowd, and they could absolutely put on the game of each of their respective lifetimes. Or they could go out there tight and tense and remember that a year ago, Indiana beat them in a Game 7 at MSG on their home court. And that's what would scare me. Now, there were some guys who weren't on that team, right? Cat was not on that team. Bridges was not on that team. So not everyone was there for that Game 7. But, I mean, the Jalen Brunson injury, that game was just a disaster from every which way. I certainly don't want to see this go 7. Indiana, like I said, in a long series with the Knicks really only playing about 7 guys, Mitch and Deuce being their only, I'll call them meaningful players off the bench. Indiana's depth advantage certainly worries me the longer this series goes, right? Knicks jumped out to that 2-0 lead last year, then lost 4 out of 5. We'll see. If the Knicks can jump out to a 2-0 lead again this year, there's no way they squander it. I just don't know if the Knicks are going to jump out to that 2-0 lead. I mean, this series could very well go every other game. This is going to be an absolute dogfight. It's going to be more physical than I think any series that either of these two teams have participated in yet this postseason. There's no love lost. By the way, I love it. It's incredible for the game. It's incredible for the NBA to have this Knicks-Pacers rivalry coming back. I'm going to say the official prediction for this series, a little half unit on the Knicks in 6 at 6-1, and a little half unit on the Knicks in 7 at 4-1. Little better value than going straight over 5.5 games.
If you work in quality control at a candy factory, you know strict safety regulations come with the job. It's why you partner with Grainger. Grainger helps you find the high-quality and compliant products your business needs to inspect, detect, and help correct issues. And the sweetest part is, everyone gets a product that's as safe to eat as it is delicious. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.